Hey campers, it's Starbella from Union One Day Camp again. Today we're going to do some Zen Doodle. That's my piece of paper. I'm going to show you guys some examples of other designs and stuff that I've done over the course of this quarantine or stay at home, stay safe at home. These have been very fun to do, very relaxing to Starbella. Let's stuck to that one. Another one. Got a few more. This one might be my favorite. And there's this one, and then there's the one we're going to do today, which is called Magic Carpet. So we're going to leave my example right there so that we'll have it for the class. The things you guys are going to need for the class is a piece of paper. It can be printer paper, it can be cardstock, whatever you want. This one is cut to a 6" by 6" square, but you can draw a 6" by 6" square on your piece of paper if you want to, or you can just make your design fill up the whole paper if you want to. You need a pencil, eraser, a ruler because we are going to draw some guidelines. I've got an ultra fine point Sharpie marker. I also have some Q-tips that already have some graphite from the lead of the pencil on them. And then this is not mandatory. This is just if you have this in your house, you can use them. These are called blending stumps. They're going to do the same thing that the Q-tips are going to do, but if you have a shading sketching set like this, you can pull these out and use this if you would like instead. So we are going to switch our camera angle around, and then you will be back with me, and we will be drawing our magic carpet. See you soon, guys. Welcome back, guys. We're here to draw our magic carpet. And to start off, here's our little example. We're going to keep him close just so we can refer to him. We're going to start by getting our measurements, and we're going to draw really, really lightly with our pencil here because we don't want to make it so that we can see our pencil when we're done. So I'm marking at every inch along my piece of paper, and then I'm going to connect them in a minute. So my board's not paying attention. You can see underneath my board, I'm sure that I have some very messy paper that's been protecting my table from all the other stuff that we've been showing you guys this week. So now I'm going to take and connect those really quickly. Like I said, you want to be very light because we're going to erase these eventually. So I'm going to move this out of my way because he's stopping me from working. There's my second one. Right, and again, very lightly, and I'm hoping that you can see this. If not, you'll be able to see it in just a second. Basically, all I've done, I'm moving my example out of the way because it's getting under my hand, is I am marking at every inch of my paper. I'm making a grid across my paper. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. We're going to flip it around, and we're going to do the same thing going the other way. So we're going to have horizontal and vertical lines going across our paper square. And again, we want to draw really lightly because we want to be able to make sure that these we can erase them, because we don't want to see them in our finished product when we're all done. Sorry guys, my board is messing with me a little bit. All right, there we go. I hope you guys are having fun so far this week with all of our camp activities. We really hate that we can't be with you guys in person. So now it's going to look like I have like a grid or like big chunky graph paper And this is just, we're just setting all this up for our design. Okay, and last one, last but not least. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going the other way. So it looks like we have a giant checkerboard type thing going on our paper. All right, so now I'm going to put my ruler and my pencil down for a little bit. I'm going to pick up one of my Sharpies, and we are going to put a dot at each of these intersecting marks, like a polka dot. Then after we're done doing this, we're going to draw some happy faces and some frowny faces. If you guys don't have the Sharpie, you guys could also use, you could use pencil for the whole thing. You just have to be really careful when you're erasing later. You could use colored pencils or gel pens, or maybe you don't have a black fine tip marker, but you have a red or blue or whatever. Whatever you guys have at your house that you can use and be creative with. We're going to try and make sure that for the most part all of our circles are the same size. We know they're not all going to be perfectly the same size, and then we might even have to come back and make them a little bigger. But for right now, that's going to be what we want it to look like, okay? So now for the first one, we're going to, this first line, we're going to go above, so like a frowny face, and then below, happy face, frowny face, happy face. And you want to kind of make sure that your peaks and valleys are about the same so that you'll get the nice pattern going here. And then for the next one, we want to make, it's going to be, ooh, see, my markers are running out. All right, there we go. It's going to be the opposite. We're going to make happy face, frowny face, happy face, and another frowny face. I hope there are no frowny faces at camp though. Then we're going to go back and we're going to do the same thing we did in the first one. And I'm sure you guys can kind of see the pattern starting to form here now. Now we're going to go back to the same thing we did in the second one. Oh, there goes my marker again. All right, and then, so this line and this line are the same, and this one's going to be the same as well. All right, so now we look like this. Now we're going to work on our things going in the other direction. So let's see. This one is going to be like this. So we're going to have our frowny face and our happy face. Frown and smile. This one's going to be the opposite. You just want to take your time and draw slow so that you get your pattern right. Otherwise, you're not going to get the same effect that we are. But that's okay, because if you're not with me live and you're watching this recorded, you can always pause and start over if you need to. Let's kind of fix my little boo-boo there. Let's make that a little bit darker. There we go. So that's what we have right now. So basically you have a skinny one up and down, and then a skinny one side to side, and they kind of go back and forth. It looks like it's woven, okay? We're going to let it dry for a couple minutes because we're going to erase those grid lines. So I'm going to start kind of along the edge and erase all my grid lines and hope that I don't run into anything that's still wet so that it doesn't smear. Then you'll be able to see kind of the design we made even better here in just a second. Sorry, I know my hand is all up in y'all's way. That one's not coming out, but that's okay. Narwhal is being my awesome camera girl again today. Narwhal is my eraser called a putty eraser. Is that what this thing's called?
Kinetic.
A kinetic eraser? I don't think that's what it was called on the box, but I'll go with that one too. You can literally find these like at Michael's or any craft store. This one was from Michael's. It was like $2. It's like the best eraser ever. I like my little putty eraser. And yes, that's Narwhal snickering at me in the background if you're wondering. So for the most part, I have all my guidelines off. Might be a couple here and there that I didn't get or drew a little too hard with. So that's our first pattern. Hold on, I'm gonna get right here. Oop. My paper shifted on me. Okay. And you can go back, if after your piece is dried, if you want to, you can go back and look again and see if you've got any more that you want to touch up. All right, so we're going to go back to our Sharpie. For all of the ones that are standing up this way, so this one, 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 this one. So you can see it's like every other one. So yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes. Same. We're going to go and we're going to put like a little double line. There we go. On the inside, I'm going to go like that. Like that. Okay. We're going to do the second line. We're just trying to make these, you know, like parallel-ish. If they're a little off, that's okay too. We're just doing our best. This one's gonna look a little weird because that line's a little fat. That's okay. All right, now that we've done that, we're gonna go through and we're gonna put dots in them. If my Sharpie wants to work, there we go. Ooh, that one got really skinny right there. go back and make my polka dots just a little bit bigger, just so you can see them better. I guess really they're not my polka dots, they're where my grid lines were. We're going to keep working in those same ones that we just made the double lines through. And this time, what we're going to do is we're going to come and make a wavy line. That one didn't get very wavy, but that's okay. Alright, now we're going to draw like little heart leaves on here. And you can draw as many as you want. I'm going to twist my paper a little bit so I can kind of draw one this way. And I'm going to draw this guy going this way just to give him some movement. Oops. See if I can draw one like that. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Still think I prefer to move my paper though. And here's my one with the anti-wave. Not very curly at all, but does it again. I might have to change markers. So, and sometimes big patterns like this can look intimidating, but if you break them down and do them piece by piece, it's not that bad. Alright, so here's our pattern now. We're pretty much done working on that block, so you can see so far we've drawn all of this. We've done each one of these blocks right here. We're done with all of those. So now we're going to make these flower things, except I'm going to make my flowers just a little bit different this time, just so I can have a different pattern. What we're going to do is we're going to draw like a half circle. We're going to color that half circle in. Okay. Then we're going to make like a little border, a little parallel border. And then I'm going to make a different petal this time. Kind of like a, maybe more of a sunflowery petal, I'm guessing, maybe. So there's that one. I'm going to do the same thing down here, and I'm going to do the same thing on both sides of this one. I want to keep calling it a square, but it's really not a square anymore. But I guess we can call it this block. I'll still call it. Alright, there's that flower. So then I'm going to flip it, because I'm going to do it right here. And again, guys, you guys could do the outline in like this black, and then you could come back in and you can color these if you want. Maybe I'll do that to this one, just to have a colored example for my live class. That would be kind of cool. And then here's this petal, and another petal over here. Alright, so we're done in those two, so now we're going to work in these two. Since I've already got my paper this way, I'll start on this side. Kind of like a little rainbow I'm making. And if it makes it easier for you to twist your paper, by all means do so. I kind of have to twist mine sometimes too. I don't know how some people can like draw upside down. That is not one of my talents. I am not good at drawing or writing or anything like that upside down, so I have to switch my paper. All right, now so let's see, I'm going to switch it again so I can do these two pieces right here. I almost forgot my little rainbow. This is another one of those kind of like the spiral drawings. If you guys haven't watched that video yet or haven't done that with me yet, they're kind of similar. They're both very relaxing. And it kind of, I mean, yes, you're using your brain to like figure out the pattern that you want to do, but then since you're repeating and doing the same pattern over and over again, that's what gives you like the meditative type response. So see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 done already. We have these 4 left. We're going to do one more thing in them, and then we're going to do our tassels that are around the outside. And then we'll add our shading, and we'll be done. So another petal here, and another petal there. Another petal here. There we go. Put another flower right here. There are patterns that you can find all over the internet for these Zentangles. Like, the options are just endless. There are so many different ways to make petals and to make different things, and then you can combine them in all different ways. Like in my example, I had different petals on my flowers and different leaves on my little vine than I do on this one. So by just, you know, changing a couple elements, like my whole magic carpet is going to have a different look. All right, so now we've got 4 more flowers to make, and then we get to move on. If your parents and guardian, whoever you live with, lets you go on YouTube, you can also look. There's lots of different people, and they'll like draw these, and you can watch their videos and draw your own. You can take inspiration from their ideas and make it your own. 2 more flowers, guys. I'm getting excited. It's looking pretty cute. I like this design. I hope you guys do too. I found this to be one of the easier designs that I've done. So I was hoping it would be easy for you too. If you notice the camera shaking a little bit, the dog is at our feet and she keeps kind of bumping us. Apparently she's licking Narwhal's toes. We have a silly puppy. Maybe we'll include a picture of her at the end of the video. All right, so we have done all of our flowers in the center. or not in the center, in each of these sections. So see, we have this, and then in our original, they were like little heart-shaped flowers. But since I put the hearts there, I didn't want to make heart-shaped flowers as well. So there's that. And so now, let me pull this back over. You can see there's something in between the little flowers. So I'm going to do, not that, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do, I think, a little starburst type deal. Let's see, let's do a little burst over here and a burst over there. So we'll do 2 little starbursts. That'll kind of fill that void that's in the middle of those 2 flowers. If you guys, I'm just drawing an X, and then one more, and one more. So like an X and then a T together. Makes my little starburst. All right. So there's that. That's all done for right now. So now we're going to move on to our tassels. So our tassels are coming off of each of those big polka dot grid marks that we made to begin with. And I'm going to, let's see, I don't want to get writing on my cool Girl Scout board. So I'll get me a, and you're just going to make 5 random lines coming off of each of them. You want them to be kind of wavy. They can overlap each other. That's okay, because that's what would happen anyways. That one didn't come off the paper. There we go. I'll turn my paper so I can do this side. Oops. There we go. You don't have to draw 5. You can draw 3 if you want. You could draw 6. You could draw 8 million. Not really, because you don't have that much room. That made Narwhal giggle at me. So I have done my job, ladies and gentlemen. I made Narwhal laugh while filming me. Oops, that one didn't go off either. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this was Sesame Street, today's episode would have been brought to you by the number 5. Oh, thank you, Narwhal. All right, so now we have all of our, I was going to say tentacles, but they're not tentacles. They're our tassels, another T word. So our lesson today was brought to you by the letter T and by the number 5. Now we're going to go through and we're just going to put beads, little circles on our tassel. And I'm going to do 3 and then 1 and then 2. And I'm going to change up my spacing and how many of my beads are touching and not touching. Just make it, you know, look kind of as randomly as possible. It's a little hard to be random sometimes. We get stuck in a pattern in our brain. We'll put one right there too. we're going to make these little dots all around our drawing here. Make the beads. Sure. Bead got a little big, but that's okay. All right, we're almost done with one side. Alright, so I'm done. We'll do this one right here. Then I'm going to let you guys color the rest of these in on your own. So there's our one side of tassels. Ooh. Get that out from under us now so you can see it maybe a little bit better. All right. So the last thing we're going to do is our shading. You can see in our first piece the shading. So, like I told you, Q-tip pencil. So on the inside of this little double line right here, I'm gonna just put some graphite. I'm using like the side of my pencil lid. I'm being really light. You don't have to be really dark. So we'll do 2 of them so you can see that. And actually, I'll use the blending stump on one and the Q-tip on one. How's that? Let me pull that out. So like I said, this is the blending stump. You can see it's already got some up there and on the other end. And like I said, this is compressed paper from the, like, you can get these at craft stores and stuff. You don't have to get the little kit either. They come separately. Sorry, I forgot to shade here and here. That makes this one look like it's coming underneath the other one, like it's, you know, the weaving pattern that we were talking about. So there's that, okay. So we'll do this one, and then we're just gonna make tiny little circles. And it doesn't matter if you go over your hearts because your shadow would fall over your heart anyways. You know, whatever pattern was there, star, heart, whatever, okay? So there's that one. And then the Q-tip, same process. And the good thing about this too is if you go over the line, it's pencil. All you do is erase it. So it's not that big of a deal. All right. So Q-tip, blending stump, okay? So that's one place we want to add shading. The other place that we want to add shading, we're just going to finish this row out. We want to add it kind of right here in the center of our flower on each side. All right, and I'll do the same thing. I'll do the blending stump on the top and the Q-tip on the bottom one. That way you guys can see the difference. Okay, so blending stump on the top. Okay. And then we'll use the Q-tip on the bottom one. All right. So the other thing that you'll want to do once you're done making all your tassels. I'll do it to this side up here since we're done making our tassels on this side. The reason I say do this when you're done is because if not, you're going to end up with a bunch of pencil lead on the side of your hand. Just like, you know, when you're at school and you run your hand across something. Let's see, and so as you can see, I got in there just a little bit. So see, just go back in there and take that out. Ta-da. And let's see, for these two, I'll use the Q-tip. And the other two, I'll use the blending stump. So there's that, blending stump. Just kind of making like little circular motions. It's called scumbling. All right, so there's those two. And then the last thing you'll want to do is with your Q-tip or your blending stump, whichever. See, it's already got, you can see how gray and colorful my Q-tip is. So I'm just taking that and kind of rubbing it along the edges just to give it kind of, you know, an antique looking feel. So, and there you go. And that'll be all the way around, just like on this one. And at the end of the video, we'll show you this one all done. Like I said, I think I'll take a picture of it before I color it, and then I'll take one after I color it. That way you guys can see both. Alrighty, guys. We will see you next time.